Thank you so much for joining us here on Joy News Prime. Now, after 168 hours of battling a fire that seemed impossible to control, firefighters have now fully extinguished the fire that engulfed portions of a story building at Zongo Lane near Rollins Park. The devastating fire swept through the bustling Zongo Lane in the capital, Accra, destroying shops and items. Joy News is learning the fire was completely doused at around 4 p.m. Saturday. Joining on Zoom is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Alex Ekinate. Thank you so much for your time here. What more can you tell us, Alex, regarding this fire?
So thank you very much. As rightfully said by your reporters, at 4 p.m. we successfully doused the fire, and we were able to salvage quite a number of structures. There were 3 adjoining story buildings very close to the affected sites. Were successfully able to salvage it from the fire. There were warehouses also, and its contents also salvaged. Despite some damage, these were salvageable, and we were also able to prevent any casualty, be it firefighter or civilian casualty.
Great. So what are your preliminary investigations pointing to? Hello, Mr. Nate?
So as it stands now, we are now starting to connect. I can hear.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So as it stands right now, we've just started conducting our investigations. It includes talking to the people who were there when the fire started. Our forensic science department were also at the scene, gathering vital information and clues that would help in the investigation. So it will be a very comprehensive investigation. So it will take a while, but trust us to get you very credible investigation at the end of the day.
But are there any lessons you are picking up from this fire incident?
Well, it's a two-way street. We are picking our lessons, and we are hoping that the market folks, the assemblies, and even the planning, the various assemblies that are custodians of the market would make sure that recommendations are effected. We realized that there were abnormalities in terms of building, where there were hardly any access routes or any spacing between adjoining buildings. So these are lessons that we keep learning, and in our recommendations, to win the recommendations going forward, so that we'll be able to make sure that whenever there's any such situation in the future, it should take lesser time to extinguish it.
So are you sure this fire is not going to come up again? This particular fire we're talking about?
So we are sure, but then we have been able to, we've left 2 of our appliances and 12 officers on standby to be able to deal with any reignition that should happen. But I'm very confident in the capabilities of our officers who doused the fire, that it's been totally extinguished. And even if there should be any reignition, it wouldn't be any major reignition. It might be a minor reignition, which our officers on standby would be more than capable to deal with it in case it should come.
Okay, finally, why did it take you so long to extinguish the fire, briefly?
Okay, so as we said, portions of the building had collapsed, and then the ultimate aim was to prevent casualty. And so we wanted to be very tactful and very sure before we commit officers inside the building. So we had to do our assessment before we committed men inside. Accessibility was curtailed because it was a one-way in, one-way out, and the stairs was inside in the middle of the building. So during the fire, the whole place was in smoke. There was no emergency light to help firefighters even navigate their way through. The various shops, warehouses, and residents was locked, making accessibility very difficult for us. So those are all part of the reasons why it took a while. So we as a service, as I said, have learned our lessons. And I'm hoping that shop owners will also bear in mind that whenever there's an emergency or whenever they are building, they should build with emergency services like the Ghana National Fire Service in mind, so that during emergencies, our accessibility to help them will be much easier.
We are grateful for your time here on JoyNews Prime. Away from that story, the Ghana Medical Association, security experts and civil society groups are urgently calling on President Akufo-Addo to take swift action to end the galamsey crisis that is ravaging the nation, with water bodies contaminated, forests destroyed, and communities suffering. They warned that failure to act now will have catastrophic consequences for the country's environment and public health. The GMA in particular has placed a demand on the president to do something. Vice President of GMA, Professor Ernest York, spoke on his file.
Who wields the ultimate power? The executive president. Because the sovereignty resides in the people, but power, as we have it in our constitution, ultimately resides in the president. And he must take the lead and say that enough is enough. Let's pause.
You have three main demands.
Yes, we do.
A total ban on small-scale mining operations with immediate effect, whether legal or illegal. When I read that portion, I said, they mean business.
No, we do.
Then two, that there should be a clampdown on all persons who flout the directives and prosecute them expeditiously. And three, that political parties should make a public declaration and publish a duly signed document on their commitment to fight illegal and unethical mining activities in Ghana. But you didn't end there. You said that if these your demands are not met, you say, we cannot guarantee industrial harmony if our demands are not heeded.
Samson, absolutely. But let me just clarify the issue about whether legal or illegal. The videos you showed, a lot of them have legal licenses, yet the environment is being pillaged. So it means that it hasn't worked. And I will tell you that this community mining program, for me, is an euphemism for galam.
Destroy Ofin today, if we destroy Brem today, if we destroy Ayensu today, if we destroy Densu today, if we destroy Bia today, if we destroy Tano today, and all the various forests, the cocoa industry is already suffering. Cocoa industry is being collapsed. We are going to lose our arable lands that will produce food to feed the next generation. Already, the desert is coming down. Savannah area is getting drier and drier and drier. We are building more houses in Accra area. And now the arable lands that can give us food and other natural resources, we have already destroyed our timber industry. So the key word, Raymond, is lack of vision. Ghanaians don't see tomorrow. We don't think about tomorrow. We think about today.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol and Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, and Chobos Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. This evening, Bernard Mona is likely to be the next flag bearer for the People's National Convention, PNC. According to JoyNews sources, provisional result from the race put him in a commanding lead. The PNC, Congress, we understand, was delayed due to a purported injunction from the camp of David Apasara. But the party resolved the differences, paving the way for the Congress. Other positions being contested for include chairman, which is being contested by Samson Asaki Awingobit and Hajara Ali, who is the acting chair of the party. Listen to the Greater Accra Director of the Electoral Commission, Gladys Pinkra, announcing the Greater Accra results.
For the election of the flag bearer for the Greater Accra region, David Apasara had 19 votes, whilst Bernard Mona obtained 137 votes. For the position of National Youth Organizer, Alidu Muhammad Nasaruddin obtained 63 votes. Mark Ewusu Eku, 95 votes. Then for the position of women organizer, Madam Esther Osei Danso had 106 votes. Then Madam Christiana Fuga obtained 51 votes. Again, for the position of General Secretary, Isahaku Audulai obtained 51 votes, and Yakubu Farah-Rudin, let me mention it again. For the position of General Secretary, Isaac Audulai obtained 51 votes, whilst Yakubu Farah-Rudin had 106 votes. For the position of chairmanship, Isaki Awingobit Samson had 106 votes, whilst Hajia Ajara obtained 55 votes.
Let's take you to the UDS guest house here in Accra, where my colleague Collins Frimpong is joining us from. Collins, what else can you report?
Right, thank you, Carlos. After the EC, the regional director for the EC announced the regional results. Situation here has been calm so far, so good. But we are waiting the results for the other regions. But Bernard Mona came out and he looked so confident that he is going to win. He made mention of the fact that he has already collated his results. He and his team, they are done, but they are waiting on what the EC is saying. And when you come here, on the faces of the people, they are also happy with regards to how things are going. Security here has been very, very so loud and very good. You can see police and a lot of police personnel around here. So everything is going on well when it comes to security-wise. And also in terms of the tension, there haven't been any incidents here so far.
So do we know if any of the regional results is already in at the EC collation desk as we speak, or you are unable to tell us anything regarding that?
For now, I don't have any results from any region, and no one here can confirm that any results from other regions have dropped in. But we are still waiting as the ECs are inside there collating their results. So we are here. Anything that happens, we will just bring it out.
With a Samson Asaki Awingobit winning in the Greater Accra region, how has he been reacting to the victory in the Greater Accra region so far?
He himself or any of the candidates have not said anything so far. But Awingobit and that of Bernard Mona, when they came out, they were cheerful. And they believe that they are going to win the election. And their fans too have been shouting. A few minutes ago, they came out from their collating rooms and they were shouting, even though they didn't tell anyone, but they were jubilating. So that may send a signal that yes, they are in a comfortable village.
Oh, okay. So we'll keep our eyes on that. But do we know when exactly all the 16 regional results will be in for the final declaration?
No, we don't know yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Collins, for that update. We'll still keep our eyes on that story. Earlier, Bernard Mona was confident of the party winning the December election. Let's listen to him.
But this is the beauty. Say, in the end, and a better form. I am excited, say, at last, the PNC is able to do its National Delegates Conference. Whilst I'm certain, say, it is also important to realize that in it will be nice. When we say the delegates are simply peaceful, the grounds is quiet. Odia train declaration na dom and so I am upbeat that this election has gone on so peacefully. In police you can see that the delegates are simply tired. They want to get the votes done so that they can go their way to see that the PNC is moving. Welcome back. Now, the Grand Devil marking the 60th anniversary of the Fetu Afashe in the Cape Coast
unfolded in a spectacular display of culture and tradition. Vibrant processions adorned in rich kente cloth paraded through the streets as chiefs, queen mothers, and dignitaries showcased the proud heritage of the people of Ogua. Central Region correspondent Eric Asante has been there throughout the day and joins us live on the phone with update. Eric, what can you report from the grounds?
So, Carlos, the ambience in the background gives a perfect mental picture of events as it unfolded here in the Asian capital of Cape Coast. This year's celebration coincided with the 25th anniversary of the overlord of the Ogua traditional area of Sabere Marquis after the second. Carlos, the cherry on the cake was that historic visit by His Majesty Otumfuo the second, the king of the Asante Man Kingdom. Well, the city is filled with excitement, like I did tell you. And if you know the geography of Cape Coast very well, every corner is bustling with activities that we can confirm will go deep into the night. From areas like Apra, Pedu, Eikwa, Aiko, the euphoria surrounding this year's Spiritual Apache has been extraordinary, Carlos.
Great, thank you so much. We'll still keep our eyes on it. I believe tomorrow there are other activities that will come back to you for. And that's all we have time for on the tonight's edition of the Joy News Prime. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Kaloni. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.